Imagine, at this hour, some people have no respect. Always something.
Three blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a sight in your life as three blind mice?
The master never said anything to me about it.
I'm not lying.
I never said you were, Miss Tarbuckle. I wonder why the master wishes to see you.
That's none of your business.
Whatever you say.
Old witch. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Didn't you hear me? Whenever you're around, little Messalina, one hears you. Look at me when you talk to me. If you don't look at me, I'll hold my breath until I die. Promise? You'll be sorry. Just you wait.
This evening, Mrs. Grimm. You may retire.
Whatever you think best, sir.
Go ahead. I can manage. Be there in a moment, Tarbuckle.
No hurry, sir. My time is your time.
Not as young as I used to be, remember?
How could I forget?
Almost there.
Bravo.
Just a few more steps.
Splendid.
Here I come.
May I help?
Certainly not. What's the matter with you, Tarbuckle? You know better. Made it all by myself.
Indeed you did, sir. You're a marvel.
Don't fawn. I can't bear fawning. I can't twist around. Stand over here where I can see you. Much better. You found Boris?
I wish I had good news for you, sir.
That, I take it, means you have not found my nephew.
As you know, I've had private detectives on the case. I've advertised. Your sister's son is just dropped from the face of the earth.
Don't be absurd. Nobody drops from the face of the earth.
I shall, of course, continue to search.
I'd hope my nephew would take over my affairs.
Are you just satisfied with my work?
You've got a surprise coming, Tarbuckle.
A surprise?
Where's the will?
Which one?
You're a smart attorney, Tarbuckle. Don't play dumb.
The second one.
Of course.
I have it with me.
Well, what are you waiting for? You seem nervous tonight.
Nervous?
Don't repeat my words. Give it to me.
Since that's the original, I think it should remain at my office.
I'll keep it with me.
If you insist.
I do insist. Will you be staying?
No, I have an early appointment in Boston. Hushby is waiting for me at the dock.
The sea is rough tonight, and the fog is thicker than glue. Must be an inconvenience for you to visit me upon this lonely island.
I look upon it as an adventure?
Do you? Most are afraid of the place. A dark castle on a lonely island. Sounds downright spooky. However, you are handsomely paid for any inconvenience.
If that's all, I'll be on my way.
People these days, so impatient. Here, one moment, gone the next. But before you go, tell me, those bonds you had me purchase, how are they doing?
You mean the government bonds or the Moroccan oil stock?
Both.
They're doing exceptionally well.
Glad to hear it. Good night, Tarbuckle.
Good night, Mr. Snipes.
Surprise coming, Tarbuckle. Where to hide it? Where to hide it? Ah! Father Time. How appropriate. Safe and snug. Oh, Sir Harry, there's more than one way to make mischief.
Visitor.
What? Who? Oh, it's only you, Humphrey.
Only Humphrey. Only Humphrey.
What do you want?
Visitor. Lady.
Ah, yes, there's Tava, my attorney. She's returned to the mainland.
Humphrey sees things.
So what? You're always seeing things. Go to bed.
Danger.
Eh?
Something outside the house.
What?
It howled.
Rubbish! There's any howling to be done around here. I'll do it.
I don't want harm to come to you. Friend. You are Humphrey's friend.
Stop that! Don't slobber and don't bite! Ugh. Teeth like a ferret. I'll have to watch, Humphrey. It's getting worse. What was that? Who's out there? Answer me! I'll soon put a stop to this. You've met your match in Algernon snipes. Oh, you're back! Monster! Beast! Demon! Ah!
Mrs. Snipes, sir, what has happened?
It's come back. The curse. The curse of the werewolf. Ah!
Hushabye! Hushabye!
There's a knocker on the front door, Hushabye. I wish you would use it.
Why bother? Waste of time. Besides, we're neighbors, ain't we?
Alas.
Ferry two over from the mainland.
Yes, that would be Miss Tarbuckle and party.
Don't know nothing about no party, but she said her name was Pigeon. Connie Pigeon.
Ah, yes, the new governess for Little Messalina. The agency recommended her highly.
This pigeon girl ever met little Messalina?
No.
In that case, I don't think she'll be staying. If you ask me, it was little Messalina that murdered Algernon snipes.
Nobody asked you.
She's got beady eyes and there's something wrong with the way she breathes. Ugh. That girl's a merc if I ever saw one. I know the type.
That's a terrible thing to say about a child.
I don't think little Messalina is a child. I think she's a tall midget and mean one.
You wouldn't be saying things like that if the master were still alive.
I speak my mind.
That could be most unhealthy.
What's that supposed to mean?
Enough chatter. Where is this pigeon girl?
Coming! I left my luggage in the hallway. I hope that's all right.
Humphrey will attend to it.
This here is Mrs. Grimm. She's the housekeeper.
Pleased to meet you.
I don't shake hands. Germs, bacteria, microorganisms. You said two from the mainland.
Mr. Halliburton.
Halliburton. Boris Halliburton?
No, he said his name was Buzz.
And where is this Buzz person?
Now, Admiral Byrd, I don't want any trouble from you, understand? That means no nipping, no getting lost, and no goldfish eating. Well, you don't have to stand on my account. Only kidding. Buzz Halliburton. Halliburton and Byrd? We're quite famous. Maybe you've heard of me. Oh. Got a card. Oh, right, here you go.
Careful, Buzz. Germs, bacteria, microorganisms.
What?
Are you trying to be funny, Mr. Halliburton? This is an ace of spades.
Turn it over.
Halliburton and Bird, available for kiddie parties. Now appearing, Circus Stupido. And where is this bird person you speak of?
It's not a person, it's got feathers.
That's him in the box.
It's a penguin!
A penguin?
Yeah, his name's Admiral little bird. You should see him walk a tightrope. He plays chopsticks with his beak, and he can tap dance and putting on the Ritz. He's kind of the nice lady, Admiral.
That would be necessary.
I guess I'll see you later, Admiral. It's a tough house.
Why have you come to Gargoyle House?
Unc sent for me.
Unc.
Uncle Algernon?
Then you're Boris.
Yeah, but don't go spreading it around. I hate that name. Buzz does me fine.
Then you don't know.
Know what?
You'll have to speak with the Colonel about this. One moment.
You know, I've been ice machines before, but they never talked.
I imagine she takes getting used to.
Yeah, so does frostbite.
I would have told you, but I figured you already knew.
Knew what?
Your uncle was murdered.
Murdered? When?
A week ago. Died right there on that sofa.
Oh.
Ow. Oh, messy.
Well, who done it?
Did it?
Assailant unknown. If you ask me, it wasn't anything human.
Say Buzz.
You don't look much like your relative.
You mean Uncle Algernon? I sure hope not.
No, him. Sir Harry.
Ah, well, whoever painted that must have been suffering from indigestion.
Seems to me I'm forgetting something. I'll just be on my way. I have a shack down the road. Feel free to stop by. And I have a boat. It leaks, but it floats. Oh, and Miss Pelican?
Pigeon.
I'd think twice about taking this job.
I wonder what she meant by that.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm sorry about your uncle.
Yeah, it was pretty unexpected.
Were you close?
Actually, I've never met him. This is my first visit to Gargoyle House.
And I hope it's your last.
Company. Hi, I'm Buzz. What's your name? Ow.
I know
Oh.
who you are. You do? You're my new governess. You must be little Messalina. Of course I'm little Messalina.
Ow!
He looks like a dumb person. You come with me.
Where?
If you bring any flies, you can watch while I feed the Venus flytrap. Unless you prefer the baby piranha.
Baby piranha?
It's not a good idea to keep them waiting. They're hungry.
Little bird, what have we gotten ourselves into? This house is insane.
The Colonel will be here in a moment. Try not to provoke him. He has a violent temper.
Why didn't you tell me about my uncle? He was murdered.
I didn't think it was my place.
Well, what's with the brat in the pinafore?
You met little Messalina then.
Yeah, I've met mean kids before, but she's in a class all her own. She should come with a cage. Sorry. Was she kidding about those piranha fish?
I'm afraid not. Little Messalina is a most unusual child.
I'll say. Who is she?
She's your late uncle's ward. He planned to educate her and bring her up as a fine lady.
Ah, well, you win some, you lose some, I always say. She could get a job with Circus Stupito as the resident geek. Sorry. So, what can you tell me about this house?
This house is very old, indeed. We keep most of the rooms locked. It has a castle-type stature.
Yeah, I can see that.
A century ago, Sir Harry Snipes moved it, stone by stone, from Scotland. He purchased this island, in fact, or most of it, anyway. Hushabye's family was able to hold on to a few acres.
So, he really liked his privacy, huh?
This island and home were his sanctuary. Some say he was driven from Scotland.
Gambling debts.
No, a werewolf.
Run that by me again.
And surely your mother must have spoken to you about it, the family curse.
Not a peep. She never mentioned her family.
You do realize that the Colonel is also your uncle? Him and Algernon were twins. Identical twins. Now that I say that, I could never tell them apart.
Well, double or nothing, I guess.
Sir Harry was a werewolf.
Well, if that's true, they ought to call him Sir Harry. What is that?
This is my son, Mr. Halliburton. Humphrey. He is mute.
Ah, well, less said the better, I always say.
What an idea. Stand up.
I couldn't watch. I'm not into killer fish.
Be strong, Miss Parrot, because once little Messalina knows that you're afraid of her, your days at Gargoyle House are numbered.
I don't like the way you say that.
How long have you two known each other?
We met on the boat coming over. Guess what, Connie? Sir Harry had this place shipped over from Scotland.
Stone by stone?
Yeah. Mrs. Grimm here says he was a walking fuzzball. Just kidding. He was a werewolf.
Werewolf?
Yeah. So is there a phone around? I'd like to call my agent.
There are no phones on this island. We generate our own electricity. Humphrey is the one who tends to the generator.
So, let me get this straight. My uncle was recently murdered.
Yes.
I have an identical uncle I knew nothing about.
Yes.
My ancestor was a werewolf.
Yes.
And there's no phone.
Yes.
Anything else I should know, Mrs. Grimm?
I'll let you mention it. It might be something. Well, there's a... Oh, no, that's not important. Well, there could be the... No, that's not important. Oh, yes, I know. The headless housekeeper.
Headless housekeeper?
From the days in Scotland. She was a traitor to the crown. I've never seen her, but others insist that they have.
I bet this place has a tower with a chopping block.
No,
That's a relief.
but it does have a dungeon with a stretching rack.
Figures.
I'll go see what's keeping the colonel. One moment.
Oh.
I'm so frightened.
I know the feeling. They ought to call this place the Holiday Inn.
That strange child.
Wait until you meet Happy Humphrey. How'd you get this job anyway?
Agency. The money is fabulous.
Well, you're gonna earn every penny of it.
I think Mrs. Grimm was just trying to scare you. I don't think she wants you here.
I don't really think I want to be here. It's not exactly a safe environment for a little bird. I should probably check on him. Admiral, how you doing? I've always had... I'd like to call my agent.
There are no phones on this island.
Phone?
We generate our own electricity. Humphrey, my son, is the one who tends to the generator.
So, let me get this straight. My uncle was recently murdered. I have an identical uncle I knew nothing about.
Yes.
My ancestor was a werewolf. And there's no phone.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I should know, Mrs. Grimm?
Oh, she mentioned it. There's the... No, that's not important. Well, there, no, that's... No. Oh, yes. The headless housekeeper.
Headless housekeeper?
From the days in Scotland. She was a traitor to the crown. I've never seen her, but others insist that they have.
I bet this place has a tower with a chopping block.
No.
That's a relief.
It does, however, have a dungeon with a stretching rack.
Figures.
I'll go see what's keeping the colonel.
Oh.
I'm so frightened.
I know the feeling. They had to call this place the Holiday Inn.
And that strange child.
Wait until you meet Happy Humphrey.
Oh,
How'd you get this job anyway?
agency. The money's fabulous.
You're gonna earn every penny of it.
I think Mrs. Grimm was just trying to scare you. I don't think she wants you here.
I don't really think I want to be here. It's not exactly a safe environment for Admiral Byrd. I should check on him. Admiral, he's not moving. He's asleep.
Oh.
Sorry. Didn't mean to scare you. Don't worry, nothing bothers Admiral Byrd. One time in Chile, he slept through an earthquake. Really, we're fine. It's been through a couple of revolutions and a volcano eruption. What's with the psst? Oh.
How about a sip, Hanson?
Watch what you're doing, Buzz!
I'm sorry. Clumsy me.
Shall I pour another sip?
I'm Connie Pigeon, Messalina's new governess.
Here at Gargoyle House, we call the child Little Messalina, never Messalina.
I'll try to remember that.
Try hard.
I'm Buzz Halliburton. Maybe you've heard of me? Halliburton and Byrd, quite famous.
I'm afraid not.
Well, my partner's there in the box, sleeping.
How droll.
I suppose. You know us, but we don't know you.
You can call me Veronica.
Nice to meet you, Veronica.
I said Buzz could call me Veronica. You can call me Mrs. Snipes.
Hey, Mrs. Snipes, are you the Colonel's wife?
Well, I'm not Algernon's widow.
Well, how do you like that, Connie? She's my aunt. Marriage, anyway.
And what is marriage, really, other than a silly little piece of paper?
Your husband will be here in a moment, Mrs. Snipes.
Stand and cheer.
What's all this talk about my sister's son? Where is he? If it's not one thing, it's another. I wish I was back in the jungle with the other mercenaries. That's what I'm cut out for. Life here is soft. Too soft. I hate softness. Where's the boy, I said? Gun batteries blasting, helicopters whirling, explosives kicking up the soil. I thought you said he was in here.
Sir, he's
Flares lighting up the night sky, trucks rolling, trees burning, men singing. The thrill of it all. The mercenary's life is the only life. Who's that?
This is the new governess.
What happened to the last governess?
Who knows? They come and they go.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, hi. I believe I'm the one you're looking for.
And who are you? Did we serve together in some jungle, some far-off outpost? Never can remember them all.
This is your nephew, Colonel Boris.
Boris, my boy, what a surprise! We thought you were dead.
Why'd you think that?
We never heard from you.
Well, I didn't know anything about Gargoyle House until I got the letter.
Letter? What letter?
Buzz, are you okay?
Yeah, fine. I've got it right here.
My brother-in-law searched for you.
These last months.
I work mostly in South America. Right now I'm with Circus Stupido. It's more of a one-ring job, actually.
Come to Gargoyle House as soon as possible. I must see you. Blah, blah, blah. Something to your advantage. Blah, blah, blah. Avoid delay. Blah, blah, blah. Your loving uncle, Algernon Snipes, Esquire.
And here I am.
Here you are.
What time's dinner? What's for dessert?
You know, I haven't thought about that yet. Oh, Humphrey. I want you to see what you can find in the garden. I want fresh flowers for a centerpiece for dinner tonight.
Not much out there. Flowers don't like island. Nothing pretty grows here.
Do the best you can.
Yes, mother.
I thought you said he was mute.
He is. Most of the time.
What's the matter? Don't you like piranha fish?
I thought I should unpack.
Little Messalina.
What?
I was hoping maybe you could show Miss Parrot the classroom.
Please, and the name's Pigeon, not Parrot.
Yes, that classroom's got everything from a blackboard to a new piano.
Not anymore. I I broke up the piano with an axe, and I didn't like the sound of the blackboard when I ran my fingernails over the slate. So I burned it in the fireplace. What a stink. You won't get away this time.
Did that kid have parents or did she hatch?
I remember what I forgot.
Sheriff Birdsong said she'd be over tonight.
What'd she want?
Didn't say. Maybe more questions about the grisly murder.
We told her everything we know.
Maybe she wants everyone here when the will's read.
How do you know about that?
I hear things.
You know, Hushabye, it's not very polite to listen in on people's conversations.
That's why you're here, Boris, isn't it? The will?
Hey, first I've heard of it. I didn't even know Uncle Algernon was 6 feet under until Hushabye told me.
Big mouth.
Only being neighborly.
What are you waiting for, Miss LeGrim? Answer the door.
Yes, Colonel.
So you mean to tell me you didn't know anything about the will?
That's right.
The letter said something to your advantage.
Yeah, it did. And the way the Colonel here read it, it also said blah, blah, blah.
Something smells fishy.
Well, it's probably Admiral Byrd.
Who?
My penguin.
What penguin?
He's in the box.
Are you pulling my leg?
No, but if you don't stop poking me with that stick, I'm gonna pull off your nose. Only kidding, Unc.
About time!
Hopefully she's bringing good news, Colonel.
We'll see you soon enough.
Tarbuckle was Algernon's attorney. She's awfully intelligent, if you like that sort of thing in a woman.
Nice to see you, Tarbuckle.
Colonel, Veronica.
Hi, I'm Buzz Halliburton. Nice to meet you. Never mind.
I brought someone with me, Colonel.
Oh?
Come in, Boris.
Boris!
Colonel Snipes, let me introduce you to your long-lost nephew.
Did you say nephew?
She said nephew.
Boris, this is your uncle.
Great honor, eh?
What's going on here?
This is Boris Halliburton.
Hang on, lady. That's not possible.
And why not?
Because he's Boris Halliburton.
I'm Boris Halliburton, eh?
I'm Boris Halliburton.
Two Boris Halliburtons.
Someone is an imposter.
Someone's a liar.
One big happy family.
Messalina! Oh, little Messalina! Where are you? Little Messalina?
Connie?
Oh, hi.
Hey, how are you getting along with the sinister student, anyway?
Well, I'm doing my best. She's a challenge.
Yeah, sure.
Ice bucket.
Oh, it's not for me. It's for Admiral Byrd. I've got him in the tub. Yeah.
So have you talked to the other one?
You mean the other Boris?
Yes.
Yes, I've talked to him. He's talked to me. He says he's me, and I say I'm me. I don't know what to do, Connie. Colonel Snipes and that lawyer keep giving me dirty looks. I feel about as welcome as the flu.
What can it mean?
You tell me. I swear, I didn't know anything about a will.
Well, stand your ground. Don't let them intimidate you. Your Uncle Algernon wanted you here. You have a perfect right to be a gargoyle house.
You know what, Connie? That's darn good advice. What have I got to be afraid of, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
The wind. We're in for a storm.
Yeah, we probably imagined it.
I don't think so.
What did that sound like to you? A werewolf?
What does a werewolf sound like?
Like that? Oh, I'll protect you, don't worry.
Evening. We're in for a storm.
Who are you?
I'll ask the questions. It's my job.
Job.
Birdsong is the name. Sheriff Birdsong.
Oh, what a relief. I'm Buzz Halliburton, Algernon Snipes' nephew.
Yeah.
And this is Connie Pigeon.
Yeah.
I'm the new governess.
What? Another governess? Watch yourself with that spoiled little Messalina. She's tricky.
I'll be careful.
So, Hushabye said you'd be here for the will reading.
Among other things. You got any idea on who'd want to murder your uncle?
I'm a stranger here.
I don't mind telling you that your family's peculiar. What did you say your name was again?
Halliburton. Buzz Halliburton. My mother was Algernon's sister. I've never met this side of the family till today.
Count your blessings. Old Algernon used to pretend he was infirm. He wanted people to think he couldn't get around without his canes, but he could. The colonel thinks he's a soldier of fortune, but he ain't. It's all on his head. Mrs. Grimm's a Looney Tune and her son ain't much better. Both Veronica Snipes and little Messalina belong on for wayward girls.
That about covers it.
You're probably off the wall too.
No.
Buzz is a circus entertainer. He works with a penguin.
Penguin? Can't say I'm surprised.
So, Sheriff, why didn't you come in the front door?
I heard something outside.
You too?
A howl?
A wolf howl?
Don't start him with that werewolf stuff. That's some of Mrs. Grimm's nonsense. Whatever murdered Algernon Snipe was flesh and blood.
Why do you say whatever? Why don't you say whoever?
Does it matter?
It does to me. A who I can handle, but not a what. Definitely not a what.
Thought I heard your voice, Sheriff.
Hope I ain't too late for the reading.
Not at all.
The sooner it's over with, the better. I want to get back to my troops. They're in the jungle, you know. Probably running away with malaria and fungus.
Sheriff, I want that man arrested.
What's he done?
Fraud! That's me, Algernon Snipe's nephew.
I don't claim anything. I am Algernon Snipe's nephew.
What makes you think he ain't?
I found the real nephew, and he is here now. This imposter is obviously after the money.
Look, I'm no liar and I'm no imposter.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Ring for Mrs. Grimm.
Buzz, you have proof, don't you?
Yeah, I've got my credit card, driver's license, and membership in the Audubon Society. No, I took that out in Admiral Byrd's name.
You people seem to be forgetting there's been a murder committed here. A brutal murder. A horrible murder. A stomach-churning murder. Algernon Snipes was mangled, throat tore out.
Yeah, we get it, okay?
I seem to be the only one who's really concerned.
We're all concerned.
I hope the murderer has left the island.
You rang?
Yes, we're going to read the will. Get the others.
Others.
Mr. Halliburton?
Yes?
Not you, the real one? Little Messalina, Mrs. Snipes?
My son.
Humphrey, too.
Whose raincoat is that?
Mine.
Give it to me. I'll put it somewhere where it won't drip.
Thanks.
Well, if you'll excuse me, this is a private affair.
I'd like everyone in the room while the will's being read. Any objections, Colonel?
Don't see what difference it makes. Let's wrap it up, though. I have a whirly bird waiting.
How much am I going to get?
That kid's all heart.
Over here, dear.
Here's Humphrey now.
Hours for dinner.
I like mine well done. Sorry.
Sit down, Humphrey. Your mother will return in a moment.
Sit. Humphrey, sit.
Mrs. Drew said I was wanted downstairs.
The will, Mr. Halliburton. We're about to begin.
I'm Sheriff Birdsong. I'd like to have a word with you and him when this is over with.
Anything you say, Sheriff.
Boris?
I'm here. Shouldn't smoke. Shouldn't smoke. Don't be silly, little monster. There's no cigarette in this holder. It is strictly for effect. Gives me an attitude. Hello, Boris.
Hello, Veronica.
Don't flirt.
You know me, Colonel. I never flirt.
All here? Good. As I'm sure you realize, the reading of the will in this outmoded fashion is not required by law. However, it was Algernon Snipe's wish.
Storm. It's getting worse.
We're going to be rich, Colonel.
Hush.
We can take a trip to Spain.
Quiet.
Anything you say, Colonel.
Your attention, please. The last will and testament of Sir Algernon Bunyan Snipes.
Bunyan? Sorry.
I, Algernon Bunyan Snipes, a resident of the County of Essex, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, over the age of 21 years, being of sound and disposing mind and memory, and not acting under any duress, menace, fraud, or undue influence of any person whatsoever, do hereby make, publish, and declare this to be my last will and testament, and hereby expressly revoke any and all wills, codicils to wills, and testamentary writing heretofore by me.
Boring.
Little Messalina's right. Who cares about all the legal mumbo-jumbo? Tell us what we want to know.
Who gets what?
How about the rest of you? Shall I cut to the main point?
Yes.
Yes.
As you wish. Mrs. Grimm,
Yes.
you get a $500 savings bond.
How generous of the late master.
Last of the big spenders, I guess.
Humphrey,
Humphrey here.
you get Mr. Snipes' old suits and a Lionel train set.
Train set. Good. Jenny.
Yes, go on, go on.
The bulk of the estate, gargoyle house, the lands, stocks, bonds, etc., is left entirely to Boris.
I'm rich.
What? You said you were the heir. What is this? What's the colonel get?
As far as the estate is concerned, he gets the boot. Cipher 0 silk.
I don't want the boot. I want the booty.
Sit down, Veronica. You're making a spectacle of yourself. Algernon must have had his reasons. And naturally, I'm disappointed. But I'm a soldier, and I can take it on the chin.
What about me? What about little Messalina? Don't I count?
All your expenses will be paid until you're 21, provided
Provided what?
that you reside here at Gargoyle House. Algernon Snipes did add one unusual proviso to the inheritance. If at any time Boris Halliburton shows any sign of severe mental deterioration, the will is null and void. How severe is severe? I'm not a doctor. I couldn't say.
What's wrong with the lights?
Humphrey fix.
Any questions?
How much is that worth in Canada?
It doesn't matter. It's my money.
I think you'd better figure out which one of these two young men is the real heir.
I know which one is telling the truth.
Going back to my study, I don't want to be disturbed. Congratulations, Boris. You've won. Drat!
He's going to his study to sulk. I know, Colonel.
It was never his study to sulk in. It was the master's. Now, the study belongs to Boris.
Boris.
Everything here belongs to Boris. Dinner is served. You will be joining us, of course, Sheriff.
My pleasure.
I'll join you in a moment.
If you'll all follow me.
No. Come on, little Messalina.
This is not fair. I should have gotten something.
The storm is getting worse.
Yeah, well, the storm in here isn't gonna get any better.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what it means. You may have the others buffaloed, but not Buzz Halliburton here. I've been around, see? You're me, and I'm me. And together, we're some kind of...
Speak to my
Hey, not so fast!
Out of my way.
No, here, put it on.
I don't want it.
I said put it on!
It'll make me happy.
One moment. Pose for me. Nope.
No, what? You look nothing like me, even with that incredibly sexy hat. We couldn't be brothers.
You're going to end up behind bars.
One of us is.
Buzz? Aren't you coming to dinner?
What are we having?
Fish.
Oh, I'm not hungry, but I'll fix a plate for Admiral Byrd.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not done with you, whatever your name is.
It's Boris. Boris Halliburton.
One of us is a split personality.
Buzz!
Coming. Hope it's sardines. The Admiral loves sardines.
What is that? Who is that? Who is there? What do you want?
Help! Help me! I'm being attacked! Help! Help!
What can it be? Who screamed?
It wasn't me!
Can't see a thing. My flashlight.
Where are you, Buzz?
Here, where are you?
Can you find your flashlight, Sheriff?
Got it right here.
Oh!
Those doors are open.
They weren't a minute ago.
You two stand back.
What a night!
Yeah, I wonder what they do for Halloween in this place.
The lights.
Happy Humphrey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who screwed this time?
I did! Is he dead?
Like Algernon Snipes. Nipped in the throat. This is your hat, ain't it?
Yeah?
Buzz, I'm so glad you weren't wearing that hat.
Maybe the killer didn't know that.
What are you thinking?
Same thing you are. In the dark, the killer could have mistaken this guy for you.
You fool! Don't you get it? It's Sir Harry! He's come back!
Sir Harry?
Suspect, am I?
Everyone is a suspect.
I resent that.
Come.
Sheriff, we put the body in the freezer. Oh,
I appreciate that, Halliburton. It's gonna stay there until I can get the coroner over.
yeah, Humphrey, you were a big help, actually. I appreciate the brute strength. Yeah, you did great. Tell you what, here is a cookie.
Run along, Humphrey. Do whatever it is you do.
If you're looking for a suspect, why not Humphrey? The boy's morbid. Saw him in the garden the other day trying to feed a bird.
What's wrong with that?
He was feeding it to the cat.
Oh, sorry to ask.
Humphrey is capable of anything.
Ain't you forgetting? He was in the dining hall when Boris was killed.
Humphrey wasn't in the dining hall. Remember, he went to work on the lights.
I suppose I'll give that some thought.
He could be the werewolf, you know. He's quite odd.
This house is loaded with odd.
You know, they weren't in the dining hall.
Who?
The Colonel and Miss Tarbuncle.
You're right.
Don't be absurd. Do I look as if I were capable of murder?
Miss Grimm said it was Sir Harry.
Don't talk like that. Talk like that gives me the willies.
I must return to the mainland.
What about the storm?
In case you haven't noticed, it's over.
She's right, it's over.
It could start in again.
He's right, it could start in again.
Woman's a fool.
Why are you listening to him? He's a criminal, I tell you.
Well, I looked at this young man's ID and it looked legit to me.
What does that prove?
Miss Tarbuncle says he's an imposter.
And what Miss Tarbuncle says must be right, mustn't it?
Well, she's a lawyer, isn't she? Lawyers don't lie.
I want to see the will, Tarbuncle.
Out of the question.
Miss Tarbuncle, I'd like for you to tell me everything there is to know about the deceased.
What's to tell? I tracked him down in Canada. You had no idea he was related to this family. I never make mistakes in these matters. I can state flatly that the dead man is the nephew of Algernon Snipes.
What about my letter? What
letter.
You ought to know. You read it.
Oh, that letter.
Yeah.
Where is this letter?
I've got it right here. Or not. You never gave it back, Colonel.
I did.
You did?
What's wrong with you?
You seem confused, disoriented.
Hey, up. I know what you're trying to pull. Mental deterioration. You know what? That's not gonna work. I'm gonna say this to the next penguin. I meant person. I must have left it upstairs.
Then go get it.
Oh, right. I'll only be a minute.
Do you think that's wise, Sheriff?
Is what wise?
He seems an excitable young man. Unpredictable. I've been watching him.
He's likely to climb out a window and disappear. He could be the killer.
An escaped lunatic.
A nutcase.
But he was in the dining room too, fixing a fish plate for that penguin.
That could have been a coincidence.
Fish plate. Remember what I said. No one wins the animal.
I'll stand guard. Gone?
Yes!
You've managed to bungle everything. Algernon left everything to me. Why did you read that second will?
What choice did I have? Algernon kept the original. He could have given it to someone. If I didn't read that second will, there could have been real trouble.
Then why did you show off with the ringer? You only muddied the waters.
Use your head!
Watch your manners.
We would have had to wait for years to prove the real nephew wasn't alive. We couldn't have touched a penny.
Veronica wouldn't have liked that.
This way, our man could claim the estate and we could just pay him off.
But he's
A
dead.
stupid mistake. Too late to worry about that now. Your brother was a clever coyote. He should have guessed he'd make a search for himself. He said I'd have a surprise coming. He must have known I wasn't searching for the real nephew.
I'll trust you, Tarbuckle. You've been stealing from the estate for years.
Water under the bridge.
Ah, what do I care if you stole from Algernon? He was a fool. As long as there's plenty left for me.
We've got to keep our wits.
We've got to get rid of that penguin trader, you mean. He's the only thing standing between me and the estate.
Did you hear something?
No.
I thought I heard a sound.
He's still looking for that letter. Thinks the bird might have ate it. You coming, Colonel?
My weapon?
I'll join you in the study.
Little Messalina! Don't worry. I'm sorry, dear. I didn't mean to startle you. Everything startles me here. I've never seen a murdered person before. In this house, so remote. This door, you'll get used to it. I can never get used to murder. You know, Miss Parrot, I really don't think that you're... What's the word I'm looking for? I don't think you're right to be at Gargoyle House. It's meant for spirits and things most people could never seem to understand. You're deliberately trying to scare me off. And it's pigeon, not parrot. Yes, sir, Harry. I hear you. Yes. Yes. The curse of the werewolf. Stop it! The true heir will inherit! Must inherit! You're insane! Ah! I'm sorry, dear. I must have drifted. I do that from time to time. I'm a channel, you see. What? A medium. A bridge from this world to the next. My guide is the headless housekeeper. Was somebody at the door?
I heard knocking.
It's usually on nights like this that she tends to walk.
On the battlefield, I'm a soldier of fortune. Give me a bazooka and I'm happy all day. Don't be afraid, Miss Partridge. The killer won't get away. I'm on patrol.
Please, Colonel, don't go. I don't want to be alone.
There's no sense in yelling after him. When the colonel's on patrol, he's got a one-track mind. If anyone ought to know, I ought. Is that right?
Is what right?
Ought. You're the teacher.
Not for long.
Governesses never stay. Little Messalina is a bit much.
It has nothing to do with little Messalina. It's this house. It's a chamber of horrors. Mrs. Grimm was talking about a headless housekeeper.
Don't you know?
Know what?
Mrs. Grimm thinks she is the headless housekeeper.
Fine.
I can't find my letter from Uncle Algernon anywhere. Either Emerald Bird ate it, or someone stole it.
The sooner I'm off this island, the happier I'll be.
I'll bet I know who murdered that young man.
Who?
The very same one. Who murdered Algernon.
Oh.
It's all because of me.
How do you figure?
Until the end, Algernon never really thought about you, Buzz.
Well, my mother tried not to think about him either. She really never mentioned the Snipes.
There must have been a reason. I wonder what it was.
Do you have to ask? You've met the family.
The estate was going to the colonel. All of it.
What changed Algernon's mind?
I did. I was going to marry Algernon. He was madly in love with me, most men are.
I can buy the mad part.
But then, I met the colonel. I married him instead. I never could resist a man in uniform.
And Algernon didn't like that.
Well, he was furious. Him and the colonel had a terrible row. Doesn't take a genius to figure out what happened next.
A new will.
I should have married Algernon instead. I'm all beauty and no brains.
No kidding. Oh! Oh! I have arrived too late! My friend! My dear friend! Murdered by the curse of the werewolf! The housekeeper told me.
Who is this?
How should I know? At least she's not the headless housekeeper. I am Olga, no less name. I'm a gypsy. Algernon Bunyan Snipes was my friend. My family has watched over his family for centuries. I knew something was wrong at the gargoyle house. I could sense it. Unfortunately, I arrived too late to save his life. I came as fast as I could.
But Algernon was murdered over a week ago.
I travel by horse and wagon. Are you, sir, by any chance the nephew I found, Boris?
Yeah, that's me. Only I call myself Buzz.
Buzz Halliburton. Yes, yes. The master asked me to find him. He said he didn't trust his attorney.
That makes two of us.
But how did you find him way down in South America? Gypsies are everywhere, even in economic circles. This room, it is alive with evil.
What does she want? An argument?
Murder has been committed in this room.
Say, she's good. Who's your agent?
A werewolf is in this house. A brave sent hither, sent hither, sent hither. A great dark shape that makes men shiver. Oh, here we go again.
If there's a werewolf in this house, I'm betting on little Messalina.
The curse must be passed on to a male beast. Only generation. Female werewolves are very rare.
Well, so is little Messalina.
Female werewolves are not unheard of. You know how to protect yourselves?
No, but I've got a feeling we're about to find out.
A silver bullet!
Yes, yes, a silver bullet. A werewolf is only dangerous when the moon is full. Thank goodness, there's no moon tonight. You know how to identify the creature?
Blood test.
Tom says it's okay, I'm leaving Gargoyle House.
Take me with you.
Do not scoff.
I don't believe in werewolves.
Not much.
There are no such things. I didn't hear anything. It was probably an owl.
You know what it is as well as I. Come, show me your hand. You could be that rare female.
I don't want my palm read.
I am not going to read your palm, you silly woman. Once a werewolf has tasted blood, he develops a thirst for more. Now, come, show me your hand.
Whatever.
No, the other. The other. All right. Thank you. No, your turn.
I refuse. Fine.
The other. No, you're good. But I am not mistaken. There is a werewolf in this house. Your turn.
It's against my better judgment.
I don't care.
Well,
No. Ah! I knew it! There, on the palm of your hand, the five-pointed star, the pentagram, the mark of the werewolf.
what do you know? And me, a vegetarian.
There once lived, in a sequestered part of the country of Devonshire, one Mr. Godfrey Nickleby, who taken it into his head rather late in life that he might get married, and not being young enough or rich enough to aspire to the hand of a lady of fortune. That's enough of that.
Don't stop, little Messalina. You read quite well. It's restful. Takes my mind off of my troubles.
Shut up. That's a dumb story.
Nicholas Nickleby is not a dumb story, and Charles Dickens is not a dumb writer, and that was a mean word.
I like murder stories.
I recommend less murder and more Dickens.
Why don't we go upstairs to the class?
You know why. You heard the blackboard in the fireplace, so the classroom smells of smoke. Very bad for the lungs.
I'm wicked.
Besides, I don't think you should be left alone. Until I leave Gargoyle House, I consider you my responsibility.
I can take care of myself. That's not the point.
There you see, the cursed one.
Please, Olga, let's not start in again. I only want to help. You keep saying that, but you don't do anything.
Olga says Buzz Halliburton has been murdered a werewolf.
Did you have to tell her that?
No harm done.
Little Messalina has an overactive imagination as it is.
Little Messalina and Olga are old friends. There are many times.
When I grow up, I want to be a gypsy or a missionary.
The star on Mr. Halliburton's hand wasn't a pentagram.
Ha! If it wasn't a pentagram, then what was it?
It was the star off the penguin's traveling box. Somehow it got stuck to Buzz's hand.
Ha!
No one in his right mind could possibly believe that Buzz Halliburton is part wolf.
Yeah, but no one in this house is in his right mind.
True.
Nobody's going to get a wink of sleep tonight.
I will. Nothing scares me. The headless housekeeper does. Only because I've never seen her.
You've never seen a werewolf?
Want to bet? No, but no.
No sign of the colonel? The sheriff, perhaps?
They're out there. Somewhere.
Let us hope no harm has come to them.
Go along to your room, little Messalina. I'll be up in a moment to tuck you in and give you your medicine.
Just so long as I don't have any more of that stuff.
There's nothing to fear. Don't think of werewolves.
Get real. If a werewolf tries to bite me, I'll bite him back.
I believe she would.
Sometimes that is how one gets to be a werewolf. One bite is all it takes.
Oh, another storm. I hope the generator holds.
This is a stormy island. In more ways than one.
why Sir Harry settled here. It reminded him of Scotland. The moors, the glens, the dark valleys, and the rain,